A lot of things have happened in the UK since the beginning of this year. I know we are still in the first month of the year, that's January. In fact, I'm shooting this video on the 18th of January 2025, but I felt it's so important for me to share the series of things that have happened in the UK so that you will be updated and you will take advantage of some of the opportunities that the UK government intends to execute, and you plan accordingly. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition into the UK to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If this is my first video you are seeing this year, then Happy New Year to you guys. I hope you enjoyed your time at home and you enjoyed your holiday. Yeah, I hope you had so much fun, and we are back into working and school run and everything in between. I hope you have a fantastic 2025. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. The first news I have to share with you is about the 43% drop in the number of UK visa applications. It says here that the number of people applying for visas to work and study in the UK fell by nearly 400,000. You know that the UK government introduced some policies to reduce the number of people applying for visas. They restricted care workers from bringing their dependents, unless you work for the NHS or codes like 6131, then you can bring your dependents. And they stopped students from bringing their dependents into the UK, unless you are pursuing a master's in research or PhD, or you are a government funded student, then you can bring your dependents into the UK. There are other restrictions that they introduced, such as that they increased the minimum salary threshold for skilled worker visa. So they increased it to 38,700, but I always tell people it might not be 38,700. There are some, allowances, discounts that they put in different professions. That's why I always tell people to check the statement of changes in immigration rules, March 14th. Check it to be sure of what category you fall on. You might find out that that particular profession you want to pursue is not up to 38,700. It might be less, it might be higher. So that's why I tell my clients to do this properly before they make the wrong decision of pursuing a care visa when they are capable of getting this other opportunity. So if you want any information like that and you want a one-on-one, just reach out to me. I will give you assistance and guide you on the right path to follow. It says that the provisional data shows that 547,000 visa applications were received between April and December 2024, down from 942,500 in the same period in 2023. So that is a huge drop, guys. Of course, we know the adverse effect of this huge drop. It has affected universities, it has affected a lot of people, but this is what the British people want. They don't want more and more people coming into the UK, and so they welcome these restrictions on immigration or visa applications. Now, they said applications to come on a health and care worker visa fell by a much steeper 79%, from 299,800 in April to December 2023, compared with 63,800 in the same period last year. The occupation that takes up most of the applications under this category is that of 6135 and 6136, which is the care workers and senior carers. This actually demonstrates that the implementation of all those changes in immigration policies on student visas, care workers, and also the skilled worker visa has been effective in reducing the number of visa application. But the UK government has some need. It is in the area of AI. So everybody prepare yourself and watch out for this particular visa. It says that it comes as the Prime Minister is set to unveil Britain's AI Opportunities Action Plan next week, which is expected to contain a recommendation for fast-tracking the visa process for those with AI skills. Guys, I have that particular AI Opportunities Action Plan. You can read it for yourself. I'm going to create a separate video about this. If you're interested in something like that, just tell me that you're interested in something like that. You want to come into the UK through the AI opportunity, then I might be willing to create a video around this. Another news that dropped is the hike in immigration fees. Yes, I know, bad news. The UK government has decided to increase some of the visa fees. I'm going to share all of them with you so that you can see exactly what you need to do. prepare yourself financially for this. Seriously, for example, the ETA, which is the electronic travel authorization, that has been increased from £10 to £16. See, guys, I created a video about how to submit an application with respect to an ETA. If you don't know whether you require an ETA or not, then watch this video here. Just watch it from the beginning to the end. I have the step-by-step guide how to start it. I have that step-by-step guide in that video. On that one is certificate of sponsorship from £199 to £525. Yeah, it's crazy. That's a lot of money for an employer to spend on certificate of sponsorship. They are putting these fees to restrict them from employing someone that is a foreigner. So it's so important for you to be aware of these things that are happening. The next one is naturalization as a British citizen from £1,250 to £1,605. If you've been saving your money for this, then prepare yourself that these are about to take place. The Home Office has approved it. So once it goes into the Senate, House of Parliament, and they agree that this should go on, they are going to implement it as soon as possible. They've published it on their website. I'll put the links to all these things I'm talking about in the description box so that you are aware of what is happening. You read it for yourself, you understand it, then you decide what you need to do. If you want to submit an application, the best time to do so is now, before it's being implemented. In another news, the UK government explained further about the financial requirement for UK spouse and partner visas. You know, it's called the family visa, and there are a lot of questions people have asked me under this particular visa, because that's the visa I use. I am on a spouse visa. It's not like the dependent of a care worker or a dependent of someone on the skilled worker visa. Under the spouse visa or family visa, you're married to someone that has British citizenship or has ILR. The financial requirement is that the sponsor should have an income of £29,000 per annum. So anything below that, your visa will not be approved. Especially when you're applying for the first time, it's always the sponsor's income that is considered. So that visa is approved for 2.5 years. Then before that time elapses, you have to submit another application, and that application, they can now consider the income of the applicant as well as the income of the sponsor to combine it to become £29,000 per annum minimum. In this particular news, they've shared that if you are in the UK, maybe on a post-study work visa, and you decide to get married to someone that has British citizenship, they can combine your income, because you're already in the UK. They can combine your income with that of your sponsor. So that's what I read here. I know some people have asked me this same question and I have not been able to answer it, but I'm going to put the links to this in the description box. Please read it for yourself. Understand it before you submit your application. If you feel you would want a step-by-step process on how to complete this application properly, then put it in the comment box. Say, I'm interested in a step-by-step process for spouse visa. Then I will create a video that will help you in this particular process. And the final news I have for you is that the UK announces temporary ETA exemption for air transit passengers. Remember that the UK introduced this ETA some time ago. There is a new list of countries that are supposed to apply for ETA if they are coming into the UK. I'll just put the list of the countries here for you to see. Check out if you're a member of any of the countries I've listed here. Then you know that you need to submit an ETA if you want to travel into the UK as from January 8th onwards. Now there's a separate number of countries, I'm going to put it here, that you need to submit an application as an ETA from March 5th. So it's also very important that you know this. However, the UK announced previously that even if you're not passing through the UK borders, you must apply for an ETA before you travel. That is what they said initially. But right now, the UK has just announced temporary ETA exemption for air transit passengers. We don't know how long this will last. So if you're going to travel, or if you have a mom or dad or grandpa or grandma or child that's coming into the UK, just check the latest update before you travel. I'm saying this because I don't know when you will watch this particular news and you don't take advantage of it the wrong time. You know, always check these things before you fly. Make sure you register for an ETA and find out whether you can have an exemption since you're not passing through the UK border. Another thing is that you have to ask your airline whether you pass through the UK border since you are on transit. Some people don't, while some do. They come in, they sit down in the airport and wait for a couple of hours, and then they will now board the next flight. So I can't tell what you're going to use to travel. I don't know the policies of the airline as at the time. So always check these things before you travel so you don't fall into any disadvantage. These are the news I have for you. If you're on a spouse visa, note that if you're in the UK and you're getting married to someone that is a British citizen, then they can combine your income, both of them. But we don't know whether after the review they will increase it to 38,700. So that is why it's best for you to submit your application as soon as possible so that you don't get caught up with any changes in laws that might come out later on. So this is what I have to share with you guys. I hope you've benefited a lot from this video. Remember to give this a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you like news like this that will keep you updated on what is happening in the UK. Then subscribing is free. A like is free. A comment to encourage me is also free. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.